lack talent. You lack a quiet place inside yourself where your talent can breathe. There's a kind of exhaustion that's extremely common in our era. The exhaustion of feeling like you can't create anything new anymore. The exhaustion of a mind that never stops making noise. The exhaustion of watching everyone else produce so much while you feel stuck. And then we jump to a painful conclusion. Maybe I'm just not capable. But this book, The Creative Act, offers a striking perspective. Creativity isn't a job or a talent. It's a way of being, a stance toward life, a way of seeing, a way of listening. It's as if you learn to live correctly, and creativity becomes the natural result of living in alignment with yourself. Even if you're not a painter, musician, or writer, you can still read it. Because creativity here isn't only about making art. It's how you solve problems, build your life, choose your words in conversation, choose how you love, choose how you keep going after failure. In short, creativity is the ability to create a life with a soul. And now, I'll go into 4 main ideas, but I'm going to go deep, because the best part of this book lives in the hidden layers. It doesn't teach technique, it teaches mindset. Creativity doesn't come from forcing, it comes from listening. A common misunderstanding is that creativity means you have to push ideas out, produce on command, strain to make something happen. But Rick Rubin suggests, in Spirit, that creativity is more like a receiver than a factory. You can't force the signal to arrive. You can only tune your radio so the signal comes through more clearly. So, what does tuning mean? It means creating empty spaces in your life. Spaces where you're not consuming, not scrolling, not being pulled by notifications. Because ideas don't like to squeeze into crowded places. Ideas arrive when you're quiet enough to hear their whisper. Here's the paradox. The harder you try to make it happen, the more blocked you become. Because when you force, you slip into evaluation. Is this good enough? Will people like it? Am I not talented? What if I post it and get criticized? And the moment you start judging yourself, creativity retreats. Creativity needs soft ground, a space for experimenting, playing, and being allowed to fail. For Walk and Grow, this fits perfectly. Walking is a kind of moving meditation. You're not sitting still and forcing calm, but your steady steps naturally settle the mind. That's why the best ideas often don't come after 5 hours staring at a screen. They come when you're crossing a street, sunlight hits a window, and something inside you quietly clicks. Oh, that's it? If you want creativity, sometimes what you need isn't to add more, but to subtract. Less noise, less self-judgment, less consumption, so there's room for something new to appear. The real enemy of creativity isn't lack of ideas, it's fear of being seen. So many people say, I don't have any ideas. But if you look closely, they do. They're just afraid to bring those ideas into the light. Because creativity always carries a risk, being seen. And being seen triggers deeper fears. What if they laugh? What if they think I'm trying too hard? What if I'm not good enough? This isn't only an art problem, it's a self-worth problem. One part of you wants to shine, another part wants to hide. And the part that wants to hide often wins, because it whispers, it's safer. Rick Rubin's reminder, in Spirit, is that creative people aren't fearless. They create while they're afraid. Creativity is a subtle kind of courage, the courage to stop trying to control other people's reactions. If you make videos, you already understand this. Posting a video isn't just posting content. It's placing a piece of your mind in front of the crowd, and the crowd may love it, scroll past it, or judge it. But if you live to control the crowd, you'll live inside a prison. So, at the deepest level, this book is offering a new way to live. Create for the truth inside you, not for the applause outside you. You might ask, but if I don't care about viewers, how will I grow? That's not the point. You still learn, optimize, and improve quality. The difference is, you don't let the algorithm decide your worth. You optimize like a professional, but you don't kneel to numbers. This is a crucial boundary. A creator has a conversation with the audience. Someone obsessed with reaction begs the audience. When you beg, your voice gets smaller. Your ideas get softer. You become safe. And over time, safe becomes bland. It's like Rubin is saying, don't dull yourself to be accepted. Because what moves people isn't perfection. It's disciplined authenticity. Process matters more than inspiration. You build a path so the miracle can visit. One of the most painful sentences creative people say is, I'm not inspired. But if you wait for inspiration, you're giving your power to something unpredictable. And modern life is far too noisy for inspiration to randomly show up. The book brings you back to a mature principle. You can't control inspiration, but you can control your habits. And habits are how you invite inspiration. I'm here every day. Whenever you arrive, I'm ready. This sounds simple, but it touches the core of procrastination. Procrastination usually isn't laziness. It's fear. Fear that what you make will be bad. And when you're afraid, you avoid. Rubin's spirit allows you to make something bad, but still demands that you make something. Creativity is like digging a well. If you dig for 5 minutes today and 5 minutes tomorrow, nothing happens. But one day you hit water. People only see the day you hit water. They don't see the hundreds of days you dug before that. In video creation, a good script doesn't fall from the sky. It comes from writing consistently. A voice that truly lands doesn't appear magically. It comes from recording again and again. A great thumbnail doesn't simply show up. It comes from refining 10 times. And here's the deeper insight. Process doesn't kill creativity. Process protects creativity. It's like a riverbank. A river needs banks to flow strongly. If you feel mentally scattered, return to structure. What time do you write? How much do you write? How long do you walk? What is the one spine sentence of this video? What message should the viewer carry home? Creativity needs freedom, yes, but freedom needs a frame. Without a frame, freedom becomes vague. Vague becomes procrastination. Procrastination becomes self-hate. Closing. Creativity is a form of healing because it brings you back to me. At the deepest level, this book isn't just about making products. It's about building a new relationship with yourself. Because when you create, you learn 3 things. 1. Presence. You learn what you truly feel and need. You stop running from emotions through constant consumption. 2. Honesty. You dare to name your fear, look at your wounds, and write the thing you keep avoiding. 3. Letting go of control. You do your part, and let life do the rest. You can't control every reaction, but you can control the quality of your heart as you create. And when you live this way, something changes. You stop creating to prove you're enough. You create because it's how you breathe. Someone who hasn't created for a long time often falls into a feeling that life is only repetition. Repeat work, repeat anxiety, repeat comparison, repeat self-blame. Creativity breaks that loop. It opens a new path. I can create a different version of today. Even if you only write one paragraph, read one page, record 1 minute of voice, walk for 15 minutes and capture one idea. That is already creativity, creating a life with intention. And here's the closing line I want you to carry with you. Creativity isn't a privilege of the gifted. Creativity is the right of the awake. You wake up from noise, from self-judgment, from the need for approval. You return to yourself, listen, do your work, and let beauty grow on its own. And with that, our walk ends here. Thank you for walking with me to the end of the journey, and I'll see you again soon in another adventure with so many more amazing books and stories. Goodbye for now.